So, some very incredible news came out, as you can clearly see on the screen before you, and I just wanted to make a quick video just to express the excitement I have for this, but also just how incredible news all around this is for just anime or just Mob Psycho in general. Like, it's just... This is great news. So let's dive into it. So Mob Psycho Season 3. We all know it's coming out next anime season. Next anime season, you've heard it over and over again, is going to be a packed season. Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho, Bleach, which that's up in the air, especially with, Disney Jail potentially. And I mean, we have a bunch of other things like Spy Family coming back and so many shows. There's so many. If you go on the list, it's ridiculous. It's probably going to be one of the best seasons for anime in a very, 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 very long time. And it's exciting. And so, Mob Psycho obviously is one of those series that people are excited for, such as myself. I mean, I have loved Mob Psycho since the day I watched the first episode for Season 1 that aired in the anime season. I was blown away, because before I even started this series, before I even, watched, Mob Psycho or anything, I had no idea it was by the same writer as One Punch Man, one. And when I felt that, I was like, it makes a lot of sense in terms of just character design. Like, when you look at, the character designs, they look very similar to Saitama. And one does have a really unique story. He really does have unique writing style, and I really love what he does. And so Mob Psycho has instantly been one of my personal favorites, and I think many can agree it's been a really good show. And ever since the first season, there's been, this up and, down with the series. And what I mean by that is that, here, I'm just gonna pop it up. Mob Psycho, Psycho 100, I want to just show you guys. Mob Psycho 100 is such a beautiful show. But when it obviously first came out, when this show first came out, people thought it was ugly. The anime, people used to think, ooh, this is an ugly looking show, it doesn't look that good or whatever, because it was a very radical and different art style. And if there's anything I think anybody knows when it comes to people on the internet or anywhere, people don't like change. People don't like something different. And even though they like to act like they do, the truth is, most of the time people don't really like change. And Mob Psycho was very unique. A very different art style. It stood out with the line work, as you can clearly see just from this image. There's some uniqueness to it. And the first season is just straight up fantastic. And then season 2, as you can see here, came out, and it was even better than the first season. And not many series can even actually do that. Most of the time, when a series comes out, the first season's the best, and it slowly dwindles, at least in anime production. But Mob Psycho is continuously upped its game and has been absolutely fantastic since the first season, and finally the third season's coming out, which leads to what we got here today, which I want to talk about. So apparently there is going to be episodes with 20,000 hand-drawn animated frames, and from what I could kind of dig up from what this actually means, so one of the best episodes, I think some episodes from Dragon Ball or Naruto or whatever, some of the best episodes usually have maybe 3,000 frames of animation or something. I could be wrong with that, don't take that with a grain of salt, but basically 20,000 frames of hand-drawn animated frames, that is nuts. That's legitimately nuts, because it's we've already seen just the beauty of Mob and how the anime is, how it really is just so beautifully animated. And the fact is that they have put 20,000 hand-drawn animated frames in episodes, or one of the episodes, as it says right here. That's ridiculous news. So there's going to clearly be something that's just going to blow our mind. It might even reach the levels of something that we saw from One Punch Man back a long time ago. If anyone remembers Saitama versus Boros, that was some insane art animation. I think that blew everybody's mind, including myself. And I think that we might reach something along that level if this is really indeed true. Now, one thing that is very important about this, which I think people are going to overlook, is that all episodes are completely produced and ready to air. Now, I'm not someone that obviously makes anime. I'm not someone that's in the know. I know every little intricacy for anime, etc. I'm not going to act like I do know all that. But I do know one thing, at least when it comes to anime, and I am very positive about this. Most of the time when anime is being made, anything, Shield Hero, etc., when things are being made, usually the episodes are still being worked on while the anime is being aired. So, for example, let's say the first episode of Mob Psycho Season 3 comes out. I'm not saying this is going to be the case with this anime, because obviously it's different with what they're saying here, but when the first episode comes out, usually the staff might be working on maybe episode 5, maybe episode 7, it really depends on the production, but most of the time the staff is still kind of working on the anime while it's actually airing. And so when you actually see this, all episodes are completely produced and ready to air. This can be wording, it could be a misinterpretation, at least what I'm getting from this, but it kind of implies that all the episodes of Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 are already ready. Like, they're ready to air. Like, they're not working on them no more. Maybe they might do a little bit of touch-ups here and there, but it seems like if we can believe what's being said here, it is ready to go. And if that is indeed the case, that is so ahead of production, it's actually mind-blowing. That's legitimately mind-blowing. Now, if I'm wrong about this, correct me down below. Please, correct me. I would, please do. But I'm going to assume that this wording means that, you know, according to saying ready to air, they're completed. And if that is indeed the case, that's insane. And let's talk about that. So who is, you know, working on Mob Psycho? I think this is definitely a question we should be asking, since the production seems to apparently be going so well. Well, here's the thing. It is Studio Bones right here that is working on Mob Psycho, and they have made quite a few series that people will definitely recognize, like this right here, My Hero Academia. I made a video earlier this week on it, and I've talked about it, and I think everybody's general opinion is kind of went sour towards the anime, and, you know, the new season is going to also be worked on by, you know, the same studio that's working on Mob Psycho, Studio Bones. Now, the staff is obviously probably different, like, there's different teams within Bones working on this, so the team that's working on Mob Psycho is definitely not going to be working on My Hero Academia, but the point, though, is that I can definitely sense in the future, people are going to have a lot of rage probably towards Mob Psycho if the newest season of My Hero Academia goes sideways. I definitely sense that. People are going to have a lot of rage towards Mob Psycho, because they're going to say, oh, so Studio Bones is sacrificing, you know, My Hero Academia for Mob Psycho, when that's probably not entirely the case, because different teams are working on different staff members, etc., and it's just, there's a lot behind the scenes that we obviously just do not know about. We don't actually have everything, all the information, but, yeah, it's food for thought to think about. I can definitely already see some of that, the controversy and the drama happening in the future for the two series. Are probably going to be, you know, button heads. But, yeah, overall, as a Mob Psycho fan, someone that loves the series, this is just fantastic news. And I mean, also, by the way, if you haven't seen the opening song, apparently, this is like the opening song for Mob Psycho, you know, Season 3, you should go listen to it. It's really freaking good. Like, this is a really good opening, visually and all that. It's so good. But, okay, I guess I'll, you know, leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, I gave you a good time, you learned something, etc., leave me a like as always. Does help me out, and I always greatly appreciate it. But with that, guys, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.